Hello everyone, this is Plankara, and welcome to my universe. Today we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. I've been making steady progress on the hair on the upward head turn. Just going to kind of keep poking at things and decide how I want certain things to change because of the turn specifically. Like, here, I knew that I wanted this dark area in the kind of area underneath the bangs here to be a little bit larger. And after looking at it this morning, I think I made it a little bit too big up at the top there. So I'm just going to try to find the right size there, the right size on like some of these highlights through here, and all that kind of good stuff. Just doing some experiments and see what I like. But overall, I feel like things are coming together slowly but surely. Perhaps a bit more slowly than I would like in some cases, but it's alright. I've just been abnormally tired lately, and it's made it a little bit hard to think. But I will do the best I can with each day I have. So right now I'm just working on the shadow under this part of the bang real quick so I can get a better idea of whether or not I like what I'm doing with this shadow area. This guy over here. And so far so good, I think. So far so good. Just be starting in that area and around the bangs itself. This front bang. Just because I always find those to be fairly good places to start. They have clear anchor points I can use as a frame of reference around the eyes and the eyebrows and all that stuff, so I can just kind of get them looking right and work my way up the part here. And that's been working quite well for me so far. So I see no real reason to change it. So right now I'm working on the little strand here where it kind of connects to her forehead. Just use that as the starting point of the part. And I'll work my way back. I'll probably do a bunch of work on the front bang here as well. I'm a bit abnormally sleepy. So I do apologize if my energy has been a bit low this week. I'm doing my best. Well, yesterday I got Lady Pearl to, what was the number? I think it was 80% compliance, and in order to unlock that node you had to go through and do her interrogation, so I went ahead and did hers. And I don't know, so far I still can't really follow what they were going for her character. It seems to be more based around an aesthetic of a stage director controlling people and making shows happen and that kind of thing, and being a director, than it does an actual, like, idea, like so many of the characters are based around. And it's just seems like to me they didn't quite know what they wanted to do with her. That's just how I feel about it. Large portions of it still feel a bit confused to me. Like, I can definitely see the idea of somebody that would want to set up situations and then see how people respond. Just out of curiosity to see what would happen. But that's not really the impression that I get when what they were going for here, or the impression that I get when I read her story. It seems to be much more based around not exactly control, but I don't know. That's why I say I just have a little bit of trouble following the ideas that they were going for with her. And her interrogation did not quite fix that for me. I kind of wonder if the writers understood what they were going for. That's kind of what I mean by she felt like an aesthetic, where they just wanted to go with the creepy stage director that just is kind of controlling everything from behind the scenes. And it just didn't quite land for me. It was the same with her event, where I never really got a feel for her character or why she was doing a lot of what she was doing. Even Cabernet, whose entire shtick is just, I think it's delicious. You know, it's not like it has to be complex or anything. Like, she's perfectly understandable. I get exactly what they're going for there. But still don't quite understand Pearl. It's too bad, because she has a fabulous hat. I do love her hat. I ended up reading Oak Caskets as well. While I was doing that, and hers was okay. I feel like the writing quality in interrogations varies wildly, where you get some that are just kind of okay, like Oak's. Give us a good idea of her backstory and that kind of thing. And it was nice. The only real complaint that I had was that they introduced the doctor, the NPC there, and kind of left him in a state of limbo and just kind of ignored all the implications of the chief's choice to just kind of leave him in the state that he was in. Like, no particular responsibility to get him out or any of that. And that just seemed kind of funny to me, with the whole theme being that we do all these rites and say prayers to try to appease the dead, but it's more like they're done so this way the living can stop feeling guilt about why the dead died and then just kind of forget about them. And it's like, yeah, we just introduced this random NPC, put him in this terrible situation, and once the point's been made, we just kind of ignore him and pretend like he never existed. It's fine. And that was a bit of whiplash for me. I thought that was a bit strange. So it just wild to me, and how much variation there is in the quality of the interrogations, because you get some that are really good. I thought Shalom's is pretty good. I thought Ignis's was pretty cute. Levi's was extremely funny. A little bit slow at the beginning, but the payoff was perfect. Like, incredible. And then you get some that are just really bad. Like, I was really, really disappointed with Enfer's. It was so sad because I felt like Enfer was already overshadowed by, like, everybody else in her own event. And then her interrogation is just like, yes, she's just randomly putting hearts on her art without realizing it. And that's how Chief is able to notice that she in fact loves art, and I'm like, what? What am I reading? It was very strange. So I don't know, it makes it kind of hard to get the motivation to go through and read them all. That a lot of them just tend to be longer than I feel like they need to. Even Shalom's, which I thought was really good overall, just felt like there was a lot of word count bloat. Or maybe I'm just getting impatient in my old age. Who knows? But I'll probably read some more and try to talk about them a little bit. I had been kind of recounting Pearl's event in my head. I'm kind of glad that they used the instrumental version of DC for Infinity in there, because it's probably one of my favorite tracks in the game so far. Just so light and fluffy. Dramatic. Combination that I don't quite hear often, and I thought it was pretty cool. I like listening to it a lot. I'm sad that they didn't upload the instrumental version to their YouTube channel, just the vocal version. Then going through Pearl's interrogation kind of made me compare and contrast with the recent event for LL. And one complaint that I had with Pearl's event was that we never really got an explanation for why she was doing this. It's like we got a little bit of that in her interrogation now that I've read it, but not a whole lot. I'm still not quite satisfied there, but with LL, I thought we had a clear point of obsession and why she was doing everything that she was doing, of just having a disability that gives her a low degree of agency. And so she's just kind of living vicariously through others, and thinking about it, I haven't read LL's interrogation yet. I'll put that on my list of things to do, I think. But just from the event itself, and through what she tried to set up for the chief, it's kind of put her desires and the chief's desires together. And I thought it made for a pretty cute ending, where she wanted to make Chief happy, because that's what she does. That's like the entire purpose of her obsession there. And after trying just all these super dramatic fights and making her the ultimate hero and all these shenanigans, I play with female Chief, of course. The one thing that the Chief actually wanted, and it was made clear in the end to me, I think, at least it was to me, that she wanted LL to be able to have a life where she didn't need Elysium anymore in order to, or Elysiland, yes. Elysiland. However you're supposed to pronounce it. And because her life was good enough on its own that she didn't need to rely on such things anymore. And that she could find her own happiness. And I think that's part of why she disappeared in the end. So I'll be curious to see what her interrogation brings of the continuation of that story. Because I thought her motive was pretty clear. I didn't really get that same impression from Pearl. And even after reading the interrogation, I'm still not quite seeing it. It's like I get it to an extent of just wanting, I guess, pure passion and stories, but it just didn't quite bring the ideas together for me. It's too bad, because those ideas, I think, have a lot of potential. It just didn't quite come together. It's the kind of thing where I wish I could ask the writers kind of what they were going for there, and what some of those themes were. Because in a lot of the stories, they're extremely clear. Like, overall, I do very much enjoy the writing in Path to Nowhere. So, for the most part, they hit. It's just, I guess it's not reasonable to expect them to hit every single time. Not when they have to pump out content as fast as they do. Like I said, it's just too bad, because Pearl has a fabulous hat. I've always enjoyed that kind of fashion, so I like her character design from probably the waist up. Missed me a little bit on the waist down, but everything from the waist up, definitely very much my taste. I'm not sure if I explained all of that coherently, because I've been having a lot of problems with my energy levels lately, and it's starting to kind of mess with my ability to think clearly. And that's always when things get a bit unfortunate. It can be pretty hard to deal with. I've got a bunch of stuff I want to do, and I've just been too tired to do it all, and all that. Gonna go try to see the doctor. I've got an appointment scheduled for, like, what, not next week, but the week out. No, it is next week. Yeah, next week. So we'll see what they say. And hopefully we can just get all this resolved. Because it kind of sucks, just feeling like my brain is just not entirely here all the time. I really don't like when that happens. I like being able to use my brain. I need it to make things. It's so hard to draw when you don't have a brain. It's even harder to rig when you don't have a brain. But I'm doing my best. Still gonna come here every day and try to make at least a little bit of progress here. In the end, all I can really do is what I can, so I'm trying not to get too hung up on it. It's just a little bit frustrating. Or I can't make as much progress as I want, and a lot of this progress that I do make isn't quite up to the quality that I want, and I end up having to go back and fix a lot of things. It's not fun. Well, life doesn't always go the way we want it, so I just kind of gotta do the best I can with the cards I got. Bluff my way to victory. Let's go. Just gotta convince my brain that everything's fine. And that I can take on the world. So far, I've just been doing a lot of little changes around here. I'm trying to make this kind of little strand right through here and this dark area on the side here kind of have that curl makes it to make it look like we're looking more upward at it. In fact, I think I might try to make it look a little bit thinner. Kind of understand what I was doing there. Just trying to match it, but I think if I try to make this light area, I think I want the light area to be thinner, not the dark area. So let's back that up a little bit. But if I make this light area between these two darks a little bit thinner, I think that might also look pretty good. So let's squish this down a little bit. Squish it down. I don't want the shadow to be thinner. I want the light part to be thinner. This is what I mean by my brain not entirely working. Just not quite doing what I want it to do. And I swear it takes me like 4 times as long to do anything lately. Remember today I was trying to read something and I had to just read the letters like 4 or 5 times before I could really make sense of them. Just always a bit rough when the brain is not braining. Oh yeah, there we go. Getting a little bit thinner. I think that looks pretty good. I like the effect. Let's just clean it up a little bit and see if I can make it look a little bit better. Right now, it's perhaps a little bit crunchy. Just got to kind of smooth it out, straighten everything out. I think it looks pretty good. I like the effect. I'm pretty satisfied. LL would approve. Yeah. The way it kind of curls upward. I think that looks really good. So now I think I'm going to go back and work on this color transition right here. Start working my way up from the bottom of the bang. See what I can figure out here. Remember having a bit of trouble with this yesterday, so I just kind of wandered around and kept poking at other things. Might have to do that to an extent today, too. Only so much I can do when the brain does not brain. But I'll be okay. I will figure it out. Sometimes I think it can be too easy to get caught up in what you can't do instead of what you can do. And even if I'm working a bit slower and can't think as well as I would like, there are still things I can do. So I'll just try to make progress where I can, and hopefully the me of tomorrow will be feeling a little bit better. I'm not sure if I believe it, but I will hope. It is probably cope more than hope, but that's okay. Look, you gotta do things to cope. It's fine. Okay. So right now the area that's bothering me is just kind of where the color gets a little bit lighter here. Just trying to find the right place for the area right between the two color changes there to look right. The right place for it to go. Because right now things are kind of twisting a little bit funny. Maybe I should take a look at the mesh. That might give me some hints as to why things are twisting wrong. I need the vertices. Okay. So I'll hide some of these other things just so I can see a little bit more clearly. Okay. Those are some clues, alright. Let's take a look around. Just try to get it somewhat similar and then I can figure out how I want it to change afterward. But it's clear that what I was doing before was not working. So I think at this point I'm going to stare at the mesh and try to get the vertices into more similar locations to where they were before. Because right now it's just too much of a mess. And I cannot comprehend. And once things are neater, maybe then I will be able to understand better. And they'll be able to put things where they belong. That's the hope. But oh man, my brain is having such a hard time really diagnosing all of this. And following it all. I think it's taking like 4 times as long to process any kind of information. I'm gonna try to go for the full hour, but today I'm actually having a hard enough time that I might not be able to do it. Nah, I can do it. I got this. I just don't have much faith in what I'll be able to put together. I'm just gonna do my best. I just think everything might end up being a little bit wrong for today. I'm sure the me of tomorrow is gonna have quite the adventure being like, what am I even looking at here? That's okay. I think the me of tomorrow can handle it. I believe in her. Alright, let's look at the highlight for a little bit too. Yeah, down there is looking a little bit better. So now, let's see if I can get some of these things in kind of the shape I was going for. Where everything looks a little bit rounder. And it kind of changes the shape a little bit as it's going up. Right there doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. I think I've still got some things to figure out with the shadow here. But, I think that's about all I can see right now. So I'm gonna go look at somewhere else for a little bit. And I'll come back to it if I'm feeling up for it. We shall see. I really do like the way this is coming out, though. I mean, I think this looks pretty cool. It's like I don't quite like the way that's moving yet, but I think if I can perfect the effect, I think that'll look really, really interesting. I just kind of need to work out where some of these vertices should be to give the kind of movement that I want. That actually helped quite a lot, I think. I mean, I don't trust my brain for much today, but... Okay. So let's see, what else should I take a look at here? Because I'm kind of afraid to get into too many details. Let's start looking at the tunnel. Because I noticed that there's like this weird break right here. I do think that is actually just what the underneath part looks like. But I do personally think it looks a bit strange. So let's see if I can kind of minimize the effect. Like, I don't think it's a proper break. I think it's just like a strand that's going underneath. It just looks a little bit weird. I try not to judge it, but it's hard. Foot's falling asleep. Let me adjust myself there. There we go. That's better. Alright, I also kind of want to get right here looking good too. I guess I can do that now. I'm already here staring at it, so seems like a good time. My brain can just follow its whimsy today. It doesn't really know what's going on, so when it sees something, it should just go for it. It's fine. It's what I can do right now. Ugh. Sorry, bumped my keyboard tray there. Just trying to get my feet into a more comfortable position because they were very much falling asleep. This time I am getting the pins and needles in my toes. I'm just kind of flexing it all, trying to get those to go away. The shape of this is changing in a way that I actually really dislike. So I think this is a job for looking at how the mesh is moving. What makes me really dislike that? Okay, I think I have some idea. Let me go back and look at how the shape is here. It's kind of doing something like that. So I'm gonna lift some areas here. Pull in these ones a little bit. There's a particular shape I'm trying to get. That's a little bit better. Still not doing quite what I wanted to do. But I'm not sure how to fix it. So let's try to find something a little bit easier. Something that I can kind of understand, like, right at the moment. Yeah, let's go back and look at the tunnel. So let's look at this right here. This doesn't look like it's quite lining up yet. So let's see if I can get it to kind of line up a little bit better here. Probably just going to go back and forth between these two areas. So far I think right here is looking okay, right here is looking okay. So this would be the next area right up, going right up the part, so that makes sense to kind of start looking into this. Let's floof out this little shadow area right here. Make it a bit rounder. Give it the kind of effect that I want. Oh, and I never even noticed that this area wasn't quite touching this next layer here, so there was actually a little gap there. Not sure how I managed to miss that, but it's okay, it's fixed now. That's what's important. Alright, so that I can focus on getting this strand that makes up the top of the tunnel there looking right. Kind of some of the highlights around it too. Feel like it's kind of expanding out a little bit too much there. Looks like it's opening a gaping maw instead of having being part of a head rotation. Like, no. Her hair is not alive. It does not have a mind of its own. Wouldn't that be terrifying? Wouldn't be surprised if they made a character like that eventually. I'm still waiting for the person with hair powers. It's like most of the powers in this series seem to have more to do with emotions, but we do have some that just have straight up physical prowess, like Hela and Zoya and those types, so wouldn't surprise me if we could get a person with hair-based powers. I guess Adela kind of counts as someone with hair-based powers, but... Not exactly. Not exactly the way that you'd expect it. At the very least, it's not what I was thinking of when I said hair-based powers. It's gotta be terrifying, just... seeing masses of hair coming off of people, not knowing what to do. Get all hallucinations. They do a good job of just linking a lot of these powers and a lot of the origin stories of the characters with just weird horror concepts. They're just really making it seem like some of these things that they have to go through and deal with absolutely terrifying. I suppose that's why I was a little bit sad with Oak's interrogation there. There was a lot of decent stuff with it, but it just didn't go quite as far into a lot of the implications of what was happening, or it didn't take an idea as far as it could have. And they've been pretty good about doing that in the past. So it just left me wanting a little bit. I think the interrogations aren't written by the main writing team, so the quality is a little bit more variable. At least that's the impression I get. I could be wrong. It's like I know a fair amount about how games are developed, but I haven't officially worked in the industry, so there's probably a lot of details that I don't fully understand. Honestly, I remember when I was in college and was thinking about getting into the game industry, that the more I looked into it, the worse it seemed. So I was like, okay, I think I'd prefer just to find any job that can pay the bills and then develop games in my spare time. And it's basically what I did. The games my husband and I made were mostly for forum role-playing, and unfortunately, those sites no longer exist. Or at the very least, we're no longer running them. So in effect, they just don't really exist anymore. So it's not the kind of thing that I can show off. But hey, if you have an interest in forum roleplay and are interested in forum roleplay systems, you know, come poke me. I can show you some of the stuff we've done. I think it's cool. I had a great time with those systems. Just everything comes to an end eventually, and there were certain things that were just never meant to be. And I have too many complaints about the hobby to really return to it for the moment, so that's why I say, if you're interested or want to use it, I'd be absolutely thrilled. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to revisit it. But I think there might have to be a little bit of a culling and some big changes before I can really feel comfortable returning to it. And I'm still a little bit sad about it, if I'm being honest. That's okay. I got some good systems and some good experience out of it. So I will certainly take that. So right now here, something about the way this shadow here is moving is really bothering me, but I'm having a little bit of trouble figuring out what it is, just because brain not braining. So I'm just trying some different things and seeing how it all works out. Huh. So it is. I'm taking a look at the mesh here, and it's looking like what I'm seeing really might be the top vertices. Okay, cool. They just need to move a little further this way. Here I thought it was the bottom ones that were off, and that's why I was adjusting them so much. This goes to show that taking a look at how the mesh is actually moving can actually give you a lot of hints. I should never underestimate it. Okay, I'm not sure if it's quite right here, but I think that's probably about as far as I can get for right this moment. So I'm gonna go look at something else for a little bit. Got distracted. I'm gonna go back and look at the tunnel again. See if I can get that a little bit closer to perfection. Like I said, things were gonna be a little bit off today, but I'm gonna do my best. Gonna do the best I can. That's all I can do in the end. And I do think that I am at least making some amount of progress. Even if I am gonna jump around a bit. I think that's fine. I can afford to jump around a bit. There's still a lot of stuff to do, and a lot of stuff isn't looking right at all still. So, lots of stuff to poke at, lots of little stuff that needs to be fixed up. I'm pretty sure I can get it even closer to perfection. Oh man, I'm in one of those states where even just sitting up is making me feel motion sick. It's okay, this is why I'm going to the doctor. I don't normally like to go to the doctor unless I know it's getting a bit serious there. Just like it's time and effort. And I don't have time and effort. I want to put that stuff into other things. That's okay. It's necessary now. Man, that does not look right at all. But my brain is having a hard time piecing it all together. Alright, let's just keep jumping around then. Go look at the things that I can make some amount of sense of. And right now I see some stuff over here that I think I can make a little bit better. Yeah, I think I can actually afford to make this highlight and shadow combo here a little bit rounder. Embrace the roundness for this turn. Embrace that roundness. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I just need to make it better. The common experience. It's good. I just need it to be... Like, the idea is good. I just need to fix up the actual implementation. But I definitely approve of the idea. Kind of hoping to show a little bit more of that shadow section. Because I think that... This little shadow part here. Because I think that'll be more visible with this kind of turn. Let's see here. See if I can get that strand looking nice too. Normally I don't like to go down this side so soon. I prefer to get up toward the root first, but my brain has decided this is what it wants to do right now, so I'm like, okay, this is what we're gonna do then. We can do this now. It's all good. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, brain. I believe in you. Okay, now we just have some sliding there, so I think that'll be fixed after I kind of straighten out the vertices here. Yeah, nice easy fix there. Nothing that requires too much thought. Just slide everything back up and that should fix a lot of that issue. Getting there. Yeah, definitely getting there. It's not quite right yet, but that's okay. We'll spend a little bit more time with it, and it can be made right. Everything will be okay. Did you know, even though I'm talking about the art that I'm making here when I say that, I think everything will be in your life too. You'll be able to figure it out. Just rub those brain cells together and see what you can make sense of. And just do your best. Your best is all the world can ask of you. It's all you can do. So if somebody tries to ask for more, don't worry about it. It's like you can't. It's already your best. That's their problem for being a weirdo. Being a jerk. Trying to ask more than what you can even give. So rude. Felt like things down there got shifted downward quite a lot. Alright, it's not right, but I do think I'm getting somewhere. So hopefully next time my brain is actually feeling up to properly working on stuff, I'll be able to make a lot more progress. And in the meantime, I've done several small things just throughout the hair here. Gonna try to keep going a little bit longer. I'm feeling a bit nauseous, so I might have to stop soon. It's a bit sad, but I'd like to keep going as long as I can. Trying to work everything out here. So overall, despite everything, I do think that I have made some progress. And honestly, I'm pretty happy. It's nice to know that even when my brain isn't feeling its best, I can still do something. Honestly, it really is a good feeling. No matter what happens, I'll still be able to make stuff. Might just be slower or not as long. But I will be okay. And everything will be okay. And life is okay. It's always okay. Alright, so I'm gonna make more of this kind of bottom spot show up here. Increase the size there. Make it look more like we're looking at her from below here. Oh yeah, that looks really cool. I really like that effect. I like it lots. Okay, is there any kind of other low-hanging fruit I can grab? I guess I can revisit back over here where everything's kind of squirming up a storm, and I don't like it much. Yeah. Yeah, we'll visit the connecting hair and try to get that looking a little bit better. I don't quite know how this should move yet. It's fine, I don't think I really have to. I feel like it's kind of shifting upward there, so let's try to bring those vertices down a little bit. See if that fixes some of my problems. It's like I don't quite know how I want it to look yet, but I have some things that aren't working, so that seems like a good place to start. Trying to make that look a little bit nice here. I'm not quite sure what to expect. Maybe I should be working more toward the tip. Yeah, you know what, that seems like a good idea. Let's do it. Not the tip, the root. Yes, I know what I meant. Speech dyslexia. Try to make some of the spots up here like it's kind of turning upward, so we see a little bit more of like this area and a little bit less of this area. That kind of thing. Seems like a good idea in theory. Something I can poke at real quick. Let's just try some stuff and see what happens. Worst that happens is it doesn't look good and I fix it up later. No reason not to do a little bit of science. Start sitting on my other foot. Now it's starting to fall asleep. Let me adjust myself real quick here. Try not to kick my keyboard tray this time. Legs are having a little bit of trouble getting comfortable today. Makes it a little bit hard to focus, but let's be real, I wasn't going to focus today anyway. It's fine. It's totally fine. Everything is fine. Man, I feel like I'm not making things better up here. I see the kind of effect that I'm going for, but it's a bit of a tricky one, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull it off. Just because of how I meshed this. I think the mesh is pretty good overall, but there's only so many shenanigans you can pull when you leave it all in one layer. If I cut this into 5, I'd be able to do more, but I'd probably also drive myself absolutely bonkers trying to handle all the strands. Right now there's already such a huge amount of hair. And man, I do feel like I've been able to make some pretty nice stuff with it. Overall, I'm satisfied. I think it's okay. It's okay. Just gonna kind of round things out over here. It's like I wanted to make it look like you're seeing a little bit less, but it looks bad, so I'm trying to make it so you see less of the shadow part and maybe more of the highlighted parts, and figuring maybe that'll be fine. It's okay, it's something to try. It's something to try. Okay, I guess it's kind of starting to come together. I definitely see the idea. I think it looks pretty alright. So I'm just trying to make it so this way some of these shadow areas are a little bit smaller. And certain other ones are a little bit bigger. Just trying to make it so it looks like some areas are going further forward and some are going a little bit back. Just like this one got bigger. And I made this one that looks like it's more in the back get a little bit smaller. And then like this area is going to be getting a little bit bigger and that kind of thing. Varies based on strand and my mood. Yeah, I think it's starting to look like it's tilting upward a little bit. Stretching in a lot of the right ways. I think I'm gonna have to follow this dark area all the way down. I guess if my brain can't focus on much else right now, we might as well go do that. Let's go. Let's just go. I think this will be the last thing that I do for today. I may not even get it all the way, I'm just not feeling my best today. I might just need to go take a nap on the couch or something. Kind of hoping that my body at least lets me eat. I've picked up an intermittent fasting schedule to kind of try to help me lose weight, so I don't like to skip meals if I can help it. That probably would not be very good for me. I'm already really not eating very much at all. Alright, I think this is a good start to a bunch of different strands. And hopefully next time my brain feels like braining, I'll be able to really dig into a lot of these and kind of perfect them. Because right now I kind of feel like there's some separation happening right around there and it looks a bit strange to me. So that's definitely something I'm going to want to fix. But that won't be right now. Because I think I will stop here for today. So thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or add me on the social media of your choice, and I will take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.